what's going on, everybody? Sean Bowen and Mike Hogan here for Keys to the Game. Hoagie, it's a little casual Thursday for the fellas here today.
That's it. Well, yeah.
You know, the t-shirt, the hat, I like it. This is our element.
It's just a practice.
Where
we
we
keep
feel
the sun off.
Comfortable. Okay, let's get to the big news of the day. The Argos signing a massive 4-foot, 50-pound running back to play alongside James Wilder Jr., Brandon Burks, Declan Cross. What did you see from this kid today, Hoagie? What did you like from him?
Well, I like the speed. There's no question about that. He was obviously very elusive. Now, maybe the size had a little bit to do with that, but some of the big defenders just couldn't quite get Darius down. But, you know, Jim Popp historically has been good at finding those smaller athletes. Chad Owens, Ben Cahoon, Chris Rainey, Larry Taylor, all of those kind of players. I think he found a real mighty might here for the Argos.
An absolute awesome day of practice as Darius Rasso joined the Argos today at Lamport Field for practice. An awesome moment. Couldn't wipe the smile off the guy's face. Couldn't wipe the smile off that young man's face as well. That was a great moment to be a part of it. Make sure you check out Argonauts.ca. Mike's going to have a full write-up of the day and what he's gone through and what he's going through here with the team this week, because it's going to be an absolute awesome read. All right, let's get back to the task at hand. Keys to the game here. Let's go back to last week's Sunday in Moncton. Claude Bethel-Thompson. Hoagie, honestly, I thought probably maybe his best game thus far this year. Career high in passing yards. What did you see from him that you really liked?
I really like how comfortable he looks in the pocket. You know, when he came in last year and finally got a start, he wasn't worried about knowing the playbook. He wasn't worried about his own skills. He was worried about the rust. And, you know, he's now had his way. He had some, you know, obviously more than a handful of games last year to play. And now he really seems comfortable back there. And, you know, a couple may have been intercepted, but they weren't. In the last 3 games, he has over 1,000 yards passing, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. Those are pretty good numbers. And, you know, if it wasn't for maybe a hand getting in there on the play to Armani Edwards, maybe that's a game-winning touchdown, and we're looking at the season a little bit differently. But, you know, he really, really looked comfortable. I was really happy for him because his football life has been an odyssey. It's a tremendous story.
The one thing I really admire most about him is the fact that when he gets knocked down, he gets back up. And we talked to him after the game. I mean, you know, he took credit for it, and he said, you know, it's my fault. I should have got the ball better. But at the same time, he had said that he would go to war with these guys any day of the week, and he still has faith in this group, and I do as well. I think this team can actually turn around as we start second half of the season. But let's stick with that game. The first half against Montreal was probably our best first half of football the whole entire year. Halftime comes, second half wasn't the greatest. I mean, what team do you think we're going to see here on Labor Day?
I would hope the first half team.
Yeah.
Just being. Look at the crest, right? But that's what this team has been capable of all year, and that's what's made this season maybe more frustrating than anything else. The ability is there. These are really good athletes. It's just trying to get everything all together. And in the first half, you know, aside from maybe settling for 3s instead of 7s, which they did in the first half against Edmonton, first quarter against Edmonton as well, you know, that seems to be the only thing that's really lacking at this stage. The numbers, 560 yards of offense or whatever the number was, 450 yards passing, the backs look good, the receivers look good. Finally, this offense is starting to look like we thought it would, and in the first half, the defense looked. The pressure was phenomenal.
It was
Best
great,
pressure we've seen all year. So, I mean, the elements are there, and we've been saying this all year, but it's just getting it all together and putting it together. Here's the cliche. Got to play 60 minutes.
For sure. And to be honest with you, though, I think once they do get it together, I think this could be a very scary team. I mean, there's a lot of weapons. There's a lot of talent on this team, and you know, we got to see for 60 minutes. Now let's go on the other side of the ball. Dane Evans. You know, taking over a pretty comfortable position there in Hamilton as they kind of ran the East here this year. What kind of coverages and what kind of schemes do you think this defense is going to throw at him to get him uncomfortable?
I would think the more they can do and just mix things up. Pressure obviously would help, because no young quarterback is, you know, no old quarterback wants to see pressure, but for younger guys, they might not have that pocket presence where an older guy would be able to hang onto the football for an extra half a count and be able to, you know, just let things develop a little bit more. So if they can get him off his game by confusing him, showing him stuff that he hasn't seen before, I think that's the best opportunity they have to get him off balance. You know, Hamilton's defense is still really good. The offense is now a work in progress because of the injury to Masoli. So can they get back there? I think they can. Are the Argonauts catching them at maybe a really opportune time? Perhaps, because that offense, as good as it can be, they didn't look very good in BC last week.
Okay. Let's do it here again.
Okay.
We do it every week.
Yeah.
It's your key to the game. A lot of the times it's been ball security.
Yes.
Every week it's
going to be that. Yeah.
Okay. Labor Day Classic. This is the one you circle on the calendar at the beginning of the year. These two teams do not like each other.
Sure.
What's Hogan's key to the game?
Okay, this week?
Hold on, let me hang on. Okay, let's hear it.
Taking the crowd out of the game. Get some points early.
Yeah.
Hamilton is a really vicious place to play on Labor Day.
No kidding.
The fans can be loud, obnoxious, Hamilton proud. That's what they're all about. They may still think Danny McManus is a quarterback in Hamilton, but they know two things. They cheer for their black and gold, and they think the Argos suck. Which the Argos do suck, by the way. Champagne out of the Grey Cup every couple of years. You should try it in Hamilton. But
those are fighting words.
But that's what you have to do
Those
against the
are fighting
Tigers.
words.
You've got to take that loud, proud Hamilton element out of the game.
Yep.
Because if they start getting on a roll early, it really makes it a tough place to play. The Hamilton fans are great. I tease most of them. Some of them, not so much. But I mean, it's a really neat environment on Labor Day. And for the Argos to go in and shut down that crowd, if they can score early and often like they did,
yep.
make them 7s instead of 3s like they did against Edmonton, like they did against Montreal and Moncton last week, they can take this crowd out of the game, and that would be a huge advantage.
Well, remind me to stay probably about 20 feet clear of you throughout the whole entire day, because I mean, after that, I'd be kind of scared to start. I'd be kind of scared to start my car afterwards.
The worst place to stand ever on Labor Day was next to Mike O'Shea when he was wearing Argo colors.
Oh boy!
Players would leave their helmets on. Rookies would be told, "Don't stand anywhere near O'Shea," because the Hamilton fans hated Mike O'Shea. Batteries, beer cups, whatever. If 50 was standing on the sideline, he was getting pelted. You better have your helmet on.
He's also probably a pretty good guy to stand to seeing the size and how tough he is.
That's true too.
All right, guys, that does it for us here for Keys to the Game. As Mike Hogan alluded to, it's our Labor Day Classic against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He's drawn the line in the sand. Well, I'm standing with Hoagie as well. I'll stand with him as well. Okay, guys, thanks very much for joining us. We will see you guys next week. Mike Hogan will actually be on the call on Labor Day with him and Chris Schultz on TSN 1050. We will both be down at the game, so be sure to come say hi. We will see you guys next week.